Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, check. And we're checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Microphone check, podium check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check. And if you need sync or something, I'll keep speaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ouais, ouais, il n'y a rien qui se passe encore. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good for you, Ryan? Yeah? All right. Well, good for the white? He's tall, right?
Oh, Michael Barrett's here today? Yeah. Okay. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good. Hi, how are you? So I'll take you guys around here, but we'll go in here. Hi.
And mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing the microphone in the foyer of the House of Commons for the 12 o'clock press conference. Checking the microphone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is only a mic check. And a focus check. Yeah. We're good?
want to test your recordings, your lighting, it's all done, it's all good. Who are you waiting for?
Good afternoon. This morning we saw Prime Minister Justin Trudeau go to Toronto and make a speech that was accompanied by no commitment for action, but he was joined by a room full of insiders and former politicians and politicians. And when he was done making his speech, without taking any questions from the media, he kicked them all out of the room and shut the doors. Now, we agree with Justin Trudeau on one thing, and that's that there should be a meeting happening, and that the Prime Minister should be there. But that meeting should be here in Ottawa, and it should be right here in the House of Commons, with the 338 members of Parliament who were elected to address the issues that our nation is facing. And what issues could be more important than what is being addressed in the Trudeau performance in Toronto today? The threat of 25% tariffs, the need to put Canada first, to secure our border for Canadians, to break down interprovincial trade barriers, to make sure that we can pass a bring-it-home tax cut for Canadians. That's supposed to happen here in Parliament. Debated on the floor of the House of Commons, studied in the committee rooms in this very building. But the Liberals have decided to put party ahead of country. And while Justin Trudeau performs in Toronto, the rest of the Liberals are lined up behind their leadership hopefuls like Carbon Tax Carney and Carbon Tax Christia, who have yet to pronounce on if they share Mr. Trudeau's view that Parliament isn't important. But look, the absence of them having said it underscores that we know that they don't see the value in putting country before party. And it's very simple. The steps laid out, the common sense plan laid out by Pierre Poilievre, to be prepared in the eventuality that tariffs are levied, to strengthen our economy by breaking down those interprovincial trade barriers that the Liberals have failed to address over their 9 years, and to make sure that we can make work pay again, to deliver a meaningful, bring-it-home tax cut, and to repeal the damaging policies of the Liberal government that have stopped the development of pipelines, that have stopped the exporting of our natural resources that would help deliver powerful paychecks for Canadians and would help diversify the trade that we're able to do as a country. Look, it's an important time in our country, and the questions that need to be put to Mr. Trudeau can't today because he's gone into hiding behind a locked door. They aren't being put to Mr. Carney because he's in hiding as well. And the last time he was asked if Parliament should be sitting, he ran away. And Ms. Freeland seems equally unconcerned. This is a democracy. Canadians expect that their views and their voices will be heard here in Parliament. And today we're renewing our call for Parliament to be recalled because it should be sitting. Parliament was scheduled to be sitting today. It should be our second week in our winter session, but it was shuttered. These doors were locked by Justin Trudeau when the Liberals decided to put party ahead of country. So let's get back to work. Let's recall Parliament so that we can debate the issues, pass legislation that is going to deliver real action for Canadians where we can put Canada first. Thank you.
Is Donald Trump coming after Canada's critical minerals? Do you agree with the hot mic comments made by Prime Minister Trudeau earlier today, suggesting that we should take Donald Trump's threat of Canada becoming the 51st state seriously and implying that Trump wants to control Canada's critical minerals?
Dominic LeBlanc, the finance minister, and Justin Trudeau both told Canadians, just down the hall from here actually, that the comments by President Trump were made in jest and were not to be taken seriously. So we've been told for the last several months that these comments weren't to be believed. So now we find ourselves in a situation where they're saying that this sudden crisis has emerged with respect to these comments that for months they've said weren't to be taken seriously. The Liberals have an opportunity to address this very important question that you ask, and it should be addressed right here in the House of Commons. That's where Canadians expect us to protect our national interests, to make sure that we have relationships and we have trade agreements and we have partnerships that put Canada first, including and especially with respect to our natural resources.
Does it concern you, though, that Canada's largest ally might be coming after our natural resources? I mean, and if you're in power, if you become government, what are you going to do about that?
Well, look, we've been told by the people who were at the table that that these comments aren't to be taken seriously. That's
not the case now. So if it is the case that Donald Trump is coming after our natural resources, what are you going to do about it if you're in government?
If the assertion is that Mr. Trudeau was lying, then and that's your assertion, then it should be addressed here in the House of Commons. There were 338 members of Parliament elected. It's absurd that the Liberals have shut down Parliament so the debate can't happen about what we can do to put Canada first. What do we need to do to strengthen our borders? What do we need to do to have robust and diversified trade? And Mr. Poilievre has put forward a very clear plan with respect to strengthening our border, with respect to getting our critical natural resources, critical minerals and natural resources to Tidewater, getting them to market, repealing the legislation that the Liberals have passed that have stymied those efforts. So we've put forward a plan. This is the place that should be debated. Anything that Mr. Trudeau and Mr. LeBlanc have said obviously can't be believed. They've been demonstrated to be lying to Canadians. But that needs to be. The issues need to be debated here in Parliament. That's what Canadians elected us to do.
Is your priority to pass that Canada First plan, or is it to vote to bring down the government in a non-confidence vote?
We've been very clear that both things can be true. That we're prepared today to see the introduction of, debate, study, and pass legislation that does put Canada first, that secures our border, that breaks down those interprovincial trade barriers, that repeals the anti-resource development legislation that, like Bill C-69 that the Liberals have passed, and ensures that we can pass a bring-it-home tax cut for Canadians. We can address that issue, which the House is supposed to be sitting right now. We could be doing that, and then when that issue has been put to rest, we can deal with the matters of confidence, because Canadians are looking for a new government. They've seen that after 9 years, Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, they can't be trusted to protect Canadians' interests, and that's what should be front of mind for every single elected official and everyone who's running to be Prime Minister. Is what are they doing today to put Canada first? Are they in hiding, or are they prepared to unlock the doors of the House of Commons and let Canada's 338 members of Parliament do their jobs?
Do you support the challenge? Do you support the challenge that is going to be heard by the federal court next week, calling on the courts to overturn the prorogation?
The House of Commons should not have been prorogued by Justin Trudeau in order to, we believe that Parliament should be recalled in advance would you like me to answer your question? We think that Parliament should be recalled today. It ought not to have been prorogued to begin with. This is a very important time for our country. There was no surprise to Justin Trudeau in the beginning of January that we were going to be dealing with these issues. He should not have prorogued Parliament. It should be recalled today. That's what Canadians expect, and that's why we're calling on the government to recall Parliament and to put Canada first.
Take action if Trudeau won.
Thanks very much for your